Namaskar. I am talking on the subject of Nadi Parikshaa, or also known as pulse reading. Nadi Parikshaa is believed to be an integral part of the Ayurvedic system of medicine. It recognizes the fact that the proportions of Vat, Pitta and Kapha, which are supposed to physically build the body of an individual, can be read by the pulse of the individual on the radial axis or even at other pulse points in the body. However, what is not understood is that this study, this science, comes on what platforms, using what ideas, what sources. It remains abstract because it has not yet been documented in any form which is globally accepted. It is important that we understand why pulse reading can give a hint at what is happening and what is not happening. The principle goes by fluid dynamics. Just as we have the movement of a fluid across a tube, and while the fluid flows across the tube, it exerts a pressure on the walls of the tube. This pressure is directly related to the viscosity and the rate of flow. So, if I come back with these two principles onto Nadi, the Nadi is symbolic of the flow of blood, and it is the consistency, the viscosity of blood, which denotes the Kapha component of it, or the thickness, and the flow denotes the Vata component of the blood. So basically, across Nadi, when we map, we are actually looking to observe what is the Vata and what is the Kapha dynamics of flow of blood. This has direct repercussions, direct relations to how the heart is functioning. In terms, if there is an increased Vata, it can be read as a condition where the ventricles are failing because they are having to push or exert more pressure to overcome a gradient which is not allowing the blood to flow back to the heart, or you can say the gradient is reduced. Similarly, if the blood flow is found to be sluggish, that means the viscosity of the blood has gone high, which is a case usually in cases of hypertension, dyslipidemia and such. Why I say it remains a imperfect science? A statement which is as paradoxical to hear or read as it seems, comes to align from the fact that why it is a perfect science? It is a perfect science because it comes on these two platforms of viscosity, of the flow. Therefore, there is a scientific basis on which it can be mapped, it can be read. Why it is imperfect is because the communication goes as the patient has a Vata's condition, has a Pitta's condition, has a Kapha's condition, or maybe a combination. But how generalized is it? What is the parameter to say that this as a standard applies to this individual and applies the same to the other as well? Probably none, because there is no established normal against which this variation shall be compared. Therefore, it remains imperfect. The only probability that Nadi Pariksha can assist with is verifying the current state, and that has to collaboratively be looked at what the Prakriti analysis of the individual says, and that needs to be done in the perspective, as I mentioned, that what is the normal against which you compare. Once you balance the two, once you have a balancing of the experienced Prakriti against a normal Prakriti, at the same time what the Nadi is reflecting of, you can definitely establish a true version, a true variant of it, which establishes as to why or what the exact situation of the ailment is, and accordingly treat. Going alone by Nadi, probably yes, as I said, remains perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect. It depends which side of the phrase you want to pick up first, but the science remains a perfect, imperfect science. Thank you.